Behar-Bechukotai, Rishon. The Parshas Behar starts off with the mitzvah of Shemitah, and we're not working the land for a full year. The end of the 6-year cycle is 1 year Shemitah, and we count 7 Shemitah 7 times, and then there's a Yovel. Now, in Pasuk Ches, it says V'safarta. This mitzvah is the same thing as Firas HaOmer, just like we count the days and the weeks. There's a mitzvah on the Bezdin on Rosh Hashanah. They would say Hayoim. Let's say it's the 14th year into the Yovel. They would say Hayoim Shnas Arba Asar Shehem Shnei Shmitais LeYovel. And part of the mitzvah is to show us, the Mefarshim will explain, the reason behind the mitzvah is that the land is not yours. You think it's yours, you can do whatever you want with it. There's no such thing. You can see in Sheni, there's halachas, even when you sell your land, that you could, if a person has to sell his land because he's desperate for money, so it's still, he's totally, or if you bought the land from the person has a right to come back at any time during the Yovel and demand to buy it back, as long as he can come up with the means. And you can't say anything, you can't say peep to him about it, unless it's a walled city from the times of Yeshua ben Nun. And you can't do it in the first 2 years. And by a walled city from the times of Yeshua ben Nun, you have a year to claim it back, and he can't stop you. You just have to compensate him for the amount of time that you deduct from the price that he gave you of the amount of time that he had the field. Some of the Sorim point out, why is it Davka a year of Shemitah to make this to drill and to make it us internalize that the land that doesn't belong to us. So the Gemara says that one of the Amayram told his Talmidim, don't come to me during Nisan and Tishrei, take care of all your personal business then, so this way you don't have to keep doing Bittul Torah for the rest of the year. So for 6 years, 2 months a year, at the end of a 6-year cycle, you had 12 months of Bittul Torah. So Shemitah came along, they dedicated the entire year to make up for those lost 12 months in the previous 6 years. And some say that because really the world runs because of Shabbos, and because in the first 6 years the plants were growing on Shabbos, and there's about 52 Shabbosim in a year, so in a full 7 years, the 52 times 7 is going to get you to 364. So to have a full year where the land is going to also keep Shabbos, is going to be a whole year of Shabbos to make up for all the Shabbosim, the 364 Shabbosim that weren't kept in the previous 6. There's a few mitzvahs quickly before we get to Sheni that Chachamim learn out in Pasuk Gimel and Yadal v'chisimku memker lamisecha. There's when you do business, you should do it with amisecha, with your nation. Ikonim yad amisecha. When this is by buying, by selling, people think it is only by buying. That if you could buy from a guy, you buy from a Jew, you should buy from the Jew. This applies also to selling. If you could sell to a Jew or sell to a guy, you should sell to the Jew. And there's a mitzvah of lo yisaynu ish asachav. This is in business, not to defraud. That's the general thing. But there's more pratim about if something has a market value. If you charge more than a 6, could he back out, or could you only have to compensate him for what the loss that you caused him? And then, if 2 psukim later, it says again v'lo yisaynu, don't defraud. But here, Chachamim have a Kabbalah. This is referring to Ainas Dvarim, not to shepherd someone with words. For example, you don't tell about tshuva. You remember when you used to go to McDonald's, and so on and so forth. And that takes us till Sheni.